What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and today we got the launch of Overwatch 2, the much anticipated sequel to the initial Overwatch. And as is the norm with Blizzard on launch days, it's been a complete disaster. Queues bigger than 40,000 people waiting to get in line, missing skins, all sorts of shenanigans going on. But once people are in, they're actually liking the game. They are already up to some shenanigans, which I'm going to talk about on this video as well. I've never been a huge Overwatch guy, but not for really any reason other than I just played Call of Duty. And near the end of the Overwatch kind of cycle, before it shut down the other day, I decided that, maybe I'd give the game a try. And it is unique. And it does have a very dedicated fan base. And the move to Overwatch 2 has been rife with a wide array of issues. And I'm going to get into all that after a super quick word from this video's sponsor, Meta PCs. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Meta PCs. Look, you've been around, you know that I've been talking about Meta PCs for a very long time. In fact, it's the primary computer I use. But it's not just because they're a sponsor. It's for so many more reasons. They have fully customizable, configurable PCs, and all the hardest to find parts in stock and ready to go. They also have ready to ship PCs ready for you today. Here's a couple reasons why I like Meta PCs. First and foremost, it's veteran ownership. Meta PCs is a veteran-owned business. One of Meta's owners has served both in Afghanistan and Iraq and received a Purple Heart for his service. Meta also employs military veterans in Meta's operations center and also provides systems to veterans going back to school to help them re-enter the workforce all across the United States. They offer financing. It has 100% US-based sales and support. And when you receive your PC, it's ready to go right out of the box. You don't have to get complicated and set things up. You just plug it all in and you're ready to rock. And on top of that, Meta PCs is offering you, my viewer, a huge discount when you use the link in the description or you use promo code TheQuartering. If you use my code at checkout, not only do you save money, but you support my content and a company that will not bow to cancel culture. So maybe you're not ready to pick up a new computer today, but when you are, remember to go to metapcs.com and use promo code TheQuartering to support me and to save money. And everybody wins. Obviously, you're probably not in the market right this second to buy one, but when you are, Meta PCs is the computer I use. It's the laptop I use. It's what I recommend to friends and family, and they've just been rock solid as a company. If you're stuck in the Overwatch 2 queue, you're not alone. Unexpected errors and queue times are keeping players from getting in. Overwatch 2 servers started going online a little earlier than expected, smart, but if you're having trouble logging in, you're not alone. If you preloaded Overwatch 2 and downloaded a small update today, you can hit the play button and try to get in. I've watched live streamers on Twitch successfully reach the menus and queue for quick play, but there's only a few who haven't. There's quite a few that haven't, including me. Yes, thousands of people are in queue. I've seen that number climb to 40,000. Yes, really. And the login page is spitting out messages like unexpected error that sends you to the back of the line or lost connection to the game server. I've seen that where you have the issue with you wait, and then you can't get in the game and you start it's so demoralizing. There's all sorts of other controversy around Overwatch 2, including the telephones thing, which I'm going to talk about in a second. There's a small update. The unexpected server error message that some players are receiving when trying to log in is actively being worked on. This was tweeted just a few minutes ago. But there's some shadiness as well. This via Paul Tassi. Overwatch 2 is free, a fact Blizzard is obscuring with its Watch Point pack. Today is the Overwatch 2 launch day, and things are a bit chaotic at the moment. While if you're an avid Overwatch player, you may understand what's happening with the switch over to Overwatch 2, for players outside the bubble, this the kind of fresh blood that Blizzard wants to attract, things may be pretty confusing. One fundamental thing that keeps coming up among my readers and conversations I'm seeing online is a ton of people don't seem to know that Overwatch 2 is free. The game is going free to play. That's like the fundamental tenet of the entire Switch. Yet something a ton of people appear to have missed the memo on. Part of the issue seems to be that Blizzard appears intent on obscuring this fact, while keeping that news out of marketing And when you go to try and find the game online, you are constantly directed to something called the Overwatch 2 Watchpoint Pack, which costs $40, the same price as the original Overwatch. So you may think that's what the game costs. By the way, that was a decision, right? That was a decision they made. No, it doesn't. Watchpoint Pack is new paid battle pass and a bunch of cosmetics. Overwatch 2's multiplayer on its own is 100% free. No, not free if you owned Overwatch 1, just free. Yet people are trying to find the game on PlayStation will immediately point you to this pack. I was eventually able to download the Origins version of the game for free, but it was confusing to find. On Xbox, I literally could not find the place to download the Origins version at all, and was only directed to the paid Watchpoint pack. Again, this was all done on purpose. There's additional confusion because once upon a time, Overwatch 2 being free did not seem like it was going to be the case, as Blizzard was talking about its upcoming single-player co-op campaign style content as paid content, but those plans changed. Existing players, Overwatch 1 players, should have access to all the original Overwatch heroes when they start Overwatch 2, but Blizzard has said it's going to take 100 matches or so for brand new players to unlock the full roster of characters, a way of onboarding them without overwhelming them. I don't think there's a way to skip the process, and I don't think the $40 Watchpoint pack does that, but the messaging is so confusing, I'm not even 100% sure. The basics are no, you do not need to buy the $40 pack. Well, of course. I mean, I'm saying I agree with Paul that even for me, when I installed the game, it seemed not straightforward. I happened to know the game was supposed to be free. If something's free to play and people really like it, I'm extremely likely to give it a try. You know what I mean? It's just, that's where it is. But there's obviously lots of division in the community where the follow-up to multiple award-winning strategic FPS games, Battle Pass is similar to that found in Call of Duty, where players work through sequential levels. Yeah, but you have to pay. The free-to-play model is one of the developers are favoring more due to the numbers of players and the number of players and non-existent price tag attracts. It will come as a relief to many gamers and parents who are struggling through the cost of living crisis. Shout out to that. Overwatch, I mean, yes, it's true. Overwatch 2 reduces team size from 6v6 to 5v5, and intricately designed maps and new heroes. However, despite Overwatch 2 being free of charge, it will demand in-game payments to unlock content faster than if a player wants to work towards it. And I've never been, I mean, you cannot have a problem with that. You know, the Battle Pass stuff, nothing wrong with that. You know, the idea is that where you get into kind of some shenanigan issues are if like the game is deliberately extra difficult to try and like beat people into submission with ridiculous time gates and things like that. We see this in mobile gaming. It's one of their most effective ways to get people to open their wallets, to say like, oh, you can't progress for another 12 hours unless you pay $1. And then that dollar becomes $5, and then that $5 becomes $10, and then before you know it, you spent $200 on some mobile game that you'll never remember. There's a lot of people that are divided about it, but for me, with a battle pass type thing, it's 100% fine with me if you want to sell cosmetics. 100% fine with me if you want to sell like time savers, essentially. But when you're, especially like in a single player mode game, but you just can't dabble in, you know, making players better faster. Shouldn't be pay to win, which I think is not a controversial take. And then you see some of these like threads in the Blizzard support area with the controversial phone thing. So Blizzard came out and said like, hey, we're going to add phones, an actual phone number to your voice chat accounts. So there's some level of, I don't know, accountability. It's a literal "do you not have phones" meme, and Blizzard is blocking all those memes and locking threads. But if you look at all these errors, error message with entering phone number, my phone number is connected to someone else's account, unable to add a postpaid phone number. Do you need to confirm the merge in-game? Old phone number verification problem. Issues with country change and SMS receival. I do not have access to the old number, but it still sends it to that. These are all BattleNet SMS verification. I mean, like, These are all problems that are unique to requiring a cell phone to play a game. And of course, it records everything you say in game. It's supposed to deter toxic gameplay, but it's really not going to. I don't think there's anybody out there who really genuinely believes that somebody who's going to call somebody something nasty is going to suddenly be like, oh, it's going to be recorded. Plus, you could always change your phone number and get a new account, right? It's super easy to change your phone number. You just call your Verizon, your cell phone service, say, I'm getting too many spam calls, and you change my number, and they're like, okay. And you're right back in the game. So, I don't know that this is really going to do anything. I think it's really intrusive to give them your phone number, although with Blizzard stuff, I already have like two-factor authentication, which has to be on my phone and all this kind of stuff. So I don't think it's, first of all, I don't think it's deterring people from playing. 40,000, 50,000 people in queues watching or waiting for the game. You see, waits in Overwatch 2 queue for a half hour, server error. 20,000 people ahead of you. Waits again, server error. 40,000 people ahead of you. It's the same for me. Like, there's all sorts of server issues, which, again, I'm sick of excusing. Like, this is freaking Blizzard. They've been launching products for a zillion years. Every World of Warcraft patch, all this stuff, they should have been nearly seamless. But it is Blizzard, after all. It's been a pretty disastrous launch, but it seems like when people are in, they're liking the game, which is really what's important. I'm sure they'll iron everything out for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it and you click that red subscribe button down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.